Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to the CivicTechYYC meetup in November. We're thrilled to be talking about diversity and inclusion in the Calgary tech ecosystem. And we have our special guest, Wumi, from Immigrant Techies in Alberta. And my name is Jeff Zacabe, and I'll be presenting for Inclucity Calgary. So sit back, relax, and we'll go through Wumi's presentation first. So Wumi, maybe you can just do a brief introduction to yourself and to your organization.
Sure, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, my name is Wumi. The N is silent. If you're wondering how to pronounce it, the N is kind of silent. And I am the organizer of Immigrant Techies Alberta. Immigrant Techies Alberta is a meetup group that was established basically to create space for people that were underrepresented. And the story started with me being very curious, and I wanted to see what was going on in tech, even though my industry is not core technology. I work in an environmental company. I lead a project team there. And I was just curious about the direction of the Alberta economy, going with what's happening with oil and gas, and what the story, what the narrative is. And I was getting feedback from my friends that are immigrants that are trying to come into Canada saying, no, we're not coming to your Alberta. We hear your glory days are over. We're going to BC, we're going to Ontario. So I was curious, like, what are we doing as a community to rewrite the story, to showcase what else we have going for us? So I started attending tech events in the community, and I realized how much is going on in that space, how much excitement, how much support, how much capital is coming in, how much, there's just this energy. And it was so different from anything else I've experienced in any work-related organization or any work-related community. The openness, the willingness to share, the people welcome you with your weird ideas. You know, being able to feel at home in a place where nobody thinks any idea is weird. I was just blown away. But it didn't take me too long to also realize that a lot of Calgary didn't know that was happening, more so new Canadians. And it's particularly challenging when you're new because you have no network to begin with. You left it all somewhere and then came to a new place. So even those who are not new, they're just getting to know what's all this tech thing about. Now imagine people that are yet to build a network here. And that was the why behind Immigrant Techies Alberta. Is an effort in community prosperity, making sure no one is left behind as we move forward in this new economy. So who are we? Who is Immigrant Techies Alberta? It's a tech enthusiast group where skilled immigrants who are curious about tech or who are already working in tech from their home countries, and they're not sure where to go when they get here. They're not sure how to find their way. And it could be, from my own experience, I know how intimidating it could be before you get in. From the outside, there's a bit of trepidation, especially if you don't have a strong tech background. You feel like maybe you won't understand the concept, you won't understand the acronyms, or it's for a younger demographic, and you just wonder if you will fit. So the point of this group is to be that bridge, to be the safe place, the place that, like a landing page of sorts, where people can test the waters, where people can come in and just feel free to ask dumb questions, because we already whenever we invite a speaker or any experts, we let them know that you have to explain everything and no questions are off limits. So that kind of creates that safe place for people that are exploring, or maybe exploring tech concept as a whole, or exploring where to go, how to turn, or in case of career pivoters, they need information on how to make that decision. How can I transfer my skills? So this group just lets people be wherever they are in their journey to tech careers. And we like to think that we represent a bridge into the community. So when people come for our event, you're able to guide them to other meetup groups, to other communities like Rainforest Alberta, and all other services we have. We are blessed with so much here, and sometimes it could be inundating. You don't know which one works, which one you should turn to. So coming here, meeting people, there have been so many relationships that have been formed just by us inviting some people from the community, and then the partnerships are formed, the relationships are formed. People have got jobs, people have got guidance to their businesses just because we created that space. So create the opportunities for networking, for mentorship, and we try to create content that are emerging, that are of interest to people, that are of value to people that are in pivots or just exploring or want to even start businesses. So the goal, of course, is to provide community and support for immigrant professionals who are trying to pivot or want to advance in their already established careers. And what we find is that what's common with new immigrants is not really unique to us. There are other people in the community that are not necessarily first generation immigrants that find the content valuable. So we are not an exclusive group. We try to make that known every opportunity we have. It's for anyone that fits that space. You want to explore and you want to find your way around tech in Alberta, then you're welcome. So I'd like to just channel this discussion around these three key elements of community prosperity and how we're trying to support the community using these elements, and how our efforts are tailored in this regard. So prospective people, partnerships. Now for perspective, if there is anything I have learned in the past few years is that, I've always known, but got more elaborated, is the fact that everything is connected, and that looking at situations from a big picture perspective is always better. Because when you think big picture, suddenly you don't see silos. Suddenly you don't see why something can't work. You see connections. You see how the value that academia is providing can benefit industry, can benefit commerce, how you begin to see how things fit together, right? So from a perspective point of view, we try to let our members, people that join the group, to look at themselves, not just as someone that wants to take from the system, for example, but what can you give? How can you help someone else? Most of us will feel we need support, but where we already are, you can probably support someone else because you are maybe 5 steps ahead, right? So getting a perspective of I can contribute to community is not just about what I get, it's about what I can give as well. That's a value we're trying to build. And as a collective community, even to understand that it's not, it's no longer about individual excellence. It's about what we can be as a whole, as a collective whole, as a collective ecosystem, right? So another aspect of perspective is the idea of community development being a major pillar in economic development. You can't just take economic development out of the picture, out of nowhere. The human infrastructure is a big part of economic development. So it would be out of order to focus on the economic development without building a strong human infrastructure. And that's the immigrant talent pool is a very big part of our human potential in Alberta. So it's just inefficient to waste it. I mean, if we have this growing economy, we just talked about AWS establishing here in Calgary, and that's, we need more talent. This is great news. We are expanding, we need more talent. And yet we have a pool of highly skilled professionals who are young and healthy and can speak English very well or French, because Canada made sure they went through medical tests, they went through physical tests, and just to make sure they are physically fit and they have passed their, they have the professional value to bring. So for us to have all of this and still say, we don't have enough people, it's like, it's a design problem. It's not because we don't have enough people, and it's not because we don't have the jobs, and it's not even because we don't have effort to equip the people, but sometimes we just miss something. There's just a gap somewhere where we are designing, we think we're designing for people when we don't understand how they actually interact with what we have designed. Because that, I mean, how else do you explain why people finish boot camps and still can't get jobs? And then we have the companies advertising for these roles. That means there's something wrong in how we are structuring what we're designing, right? So building the human infrastructure, the community development, it's a major goal for us at Immigrant Techies Alberta. That's why we are trying to have this collective voice, bringing people together, so that at least if somebody wanted to test, to have a perspective of what an immigrant user feels about a service or a product, they know where to go, they know where to come. So it's one of the reasons we come together.